Good morning children. Hope you all well and good. Now I am going to teach you 7th standard economics. Unit 1 reduction. What is mean by economics? There are two main activities in economics. Production and consumption. Now we are going to see about production. Let us see production. Production is the process of changing the raw materials into finished product. For example, cotton is a raw material. With the help of cotton we produced bed, pillow, cushion, etc. That is finished product. Production is economic refer to the creation of those goods and service which have exchange value. It means the creation of utility. Utility means satisfying power of product. Next, look at the picture. Fruits is given as into input. After production is the juices, that is output. Next, there are three types of utility. Form utility, place utility, time utility. We can see first one, form utility. Form utility. If the physical form of a commodity is changed, its utility may increase. For example, cotton increases if it is converted in cloth. Next one, place utility. If a commodity is transported from one place to another place. For example, if rice transported to Tamil Nadu to Kerala, its utility will be more. The last one, time utility. If the commodity is stored from future usage, its utility may increases. For example, agriculture commodities like paddy, wheat, etc. are stored for the regular uses of consumer throughout the year. See, look at the picture. First one, form utility. When a tailor converts to cloth into the garment, that is, for example, form utility. Next, place utility. Transportation of coal from mining to industry, that is wherever the coal is needed. It is transported. So that is place utility. The last one is time utility. Utility of goods or services created by its availability at a particular time. That is the time utility. Okay. Next, there are three types of production. First one, primary production. Next one, secondary production. The last one is tertiary or service production. Let me go through and each headings. First one, primary production. Primary production is carried out by extractive industry like agriculture, forestry, fishing, mining and oil extraction. These industries are engaged in such active as industrying the gifts of nature from the earth's surface. Next one, secondary production. This includes production in manufacturing industry, turning out semi-finished and finished goods from raw materials and intermediated goods, that is, conversion of flow into bread or ore into finished steel. For example, engineering and building, cloth, cotton industry. Last one, tertiary production. Industries in the tertiary sector produce all those services which enable the finished goods to be put in the hand of consumer. For example, banking, insurance, and education, communication, defense are also included. Next one, factors of production. When there is production, a process of transformation takes place. Inputs are converted into an output. The inputs are classified and referred to as land, labor, and capital collectivity. The inputs are called factors of production. There are two types of factors of production. First one, primary factor. The second one, derived factors. Primary factor means land, labor. These are naturally given and without them no goods can be produced. Next one, derived factors. Derived factors are capital and organization. These derived factors, when combined with the primary factors of production, raise total production. Factors of production. First, land. Land as a factor of production refers to all those natural resources or gifts of nature which are provided free to man. It includes within itself several things such as land surface, air, water, minerals, forests, rivers, lakes, seas, mountain, climate, and weather. Those lands included all things that are not made by man. Characteristics of land. Land is a free gift of nature because man has to make effort in order to equal other factor of production. But to acquire the land, no human effort are needed. Next one, land is fixed in supply. The total quantity of land does not undergo any changes. Next one, land is imperishable. All man-made things are perishable and they many even go out of existence. But land is indestructible. Next one, land is a primary factor of production. In any kind of production process, we have to start with land. For example, in industry, crop are produced on land. Next one, land is immovable. It cannot be transported from one place to another place. Next, land differ in fertility. Fertility of land differ on different pieces of land. One piece of land may produce more and the other less. The next heading is labor. Labor effort is human effort. Labor is the human input into the production of process. According to Alfred Marshall, defines labor as the use of body or mind, partly or wholly, with a view to sources in income apart from the pleasure derived from the work. Characteristic of labor. Labor is more perishable than other factors of production. It means labor cannot be stored. The labor of an worker is lost forever for the day when he does not work. Next one, labor is an active factor of production. Next one, labor is not homogeneous. Skills and dexterity vary from person to person. Next one, labor cannot be separated from the laborer. Labor is mobile. Man moves from one place to another, from a low-paid occupation to a high-paid occupation. Individual labor has only limited bargaining power. He cannot fight with his employer from a rise in wages or improvement in workplace conditions. Next one, division of labor. The concept division of labor was introduced by the Adam Smith in his book An Enquiry into the Natural Causes of Wealth of Nation. For example, a tailor stitches a shirt in full. In the case of garments exporters, cutting of cloth, stitches of hand, body, collar, holes for button, stitching for button, etc. are done independently by different workers. Therefore, they are combining different parts into a whole shirt. Next one, merits and demerits. Division of labor. Merits. It improves efficiency of labor when labor repeats doing the same task. Time and materials are put to the best and most efficient use. And demerits. Repetition of the same task makes labor to feel that they work in monotonous and stale. Reduce the growth of handicraft and the worker lose the satisfaction of having made a commodity in full. Next one, capital. Capital is the man-made physical goods used to produce other goods and service. In the ordinary language, capital means money. According to Marshall, capital consists of those kinds of wealth other than free gifts of nature, which yield income. Forms of capital. Physical capital or material resources. For example, machinery, tools, buildings, etc. Second one, money capital or monetary resources. For example, bank deposit, shares and securities, etc. Third one, human capital or human resources. For example, investment in education, training and health. Characteristic of capital. Capital is a passive factor of production. Capital is man-made factor. Capital is not an indispensable factor of production. Capital has the highest mobility. Capital is productive. Capital lasts over time. Capital involves present sacrifice to get future benefits. Entrepreneur. Entrepreneur means businessman. An entrepreneur is a person who combines the different factors of production, land, labor and capital. The entrepreneur is also called organizer. In modern time, an entrepreneur is called the changing agent of the society. Characteristic of entrepreneur. Identifying profitable investable opportunities. Deciding the location of the production unit. Making innovations. Deciding the reward payment. Taking risks and facing uncertainties. Students, let us see recap. Production is a process of combining various material input in order to making something for consumption. Utility means want satisfying power of a product. There are three types of production: primary production, secondary production, tertiary or service production. Factors of production: land, labor, capital and entrepreneur. I hope that all students understood the lesson. Thank you.